Welcome back to another episode of These Two Girls podcast where we share our views on love, life, and everything in between with your hosts,
Candy
and Cheyenne. How are you doing?
Hey Cheyenne. I'm good.
You're good. You guys, Candy is, I don't know, seems like she's in a mood. I'm not really sure, but she's putting on a brave face today.
I'm
but
good, y'all.
She's excited.
I am.
Because we have a guest.
We have a guest.
And I'm very excited for this guest. I don't know about you.
I am. I love this guest.
From the first time when we decided to do this podcast, I immediately wanted this guest on the show.
She did.
I didn't care what we were going to talk about. I just needed him to be here.
Yeah.
So without further ado,
yes,
we'd like to introduce our friend and mentor and former youth pastor and
what else?
I don't know. Richard Beckford.
Richard Beckford.
You guys are done? I was waiting for more. I'm waiting for more accolades. Come on. That's just too short to get the entire time.
I was trying to think of some other thing, but sorry. He's just an awesome dude, y'all.
I know.
He's just pretty awesome. Like
anytime
I have questions, like about anything, like did I tell you about that whole time period where I was going in with the that other religious group?
Hey, we haven't spoken about that in a while.
We haven't, right? And I had to hit him up, man. I'm just like, I had so many questions about it, and yeah, man, he helped me out with that. And he
was going back to Africa. So there you go. So I had to
help her. Say that again.
She was going back to Africa, so I had to help.
No. Whatever.
Well. Yes. So welcome.
Yeah, thanks. It's good to be here.
Is this your first time on a podcast?
I think so. Yeah. I think
so. First time for everything.
The first time, and I couldn't choose a better podcast.
Stop.
Because that, the Christian say, it's not I chose, the Lord chose me, so it's just excuse me,
so the Lord chose the podcast chose you.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, so we're excited to have Uncle Becky. We're gonna call, I feel like I still call him Uncle Becky.
Yeah. I call him Pastor B or Uncle B.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
B.
It works.
Yeah, so we're excited to have you, and so fitting topic, I think. So recently, tell us what's been going on with you. Tell us.
Yeah, you want to hear? What's been happening to me? In the past 3 weeks, I became a father again.
Okay. Congratulations.
And it's Father's Day coming up, so come on, wish me happy Father's
Happy
Day.
Father's Day.
Yes.
I take that gladly. Mm-hmm. I'll take the gifts later. That's fine.
Right.
So Jabari is a part of the family now. So he's my second son.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph is there, and Marsha is doing well. After the delivery.
Hey, Marsha. So, that's his wife, y'all.
So they're doing great, and so it's a lot of adjustments in terms of nights and sleeping and stuff. Which we don't get a lot at night, so but we take what we can get, so there you go. So but it's exciting though. That's exciting.
That's how it is, the young babies, they're not gonna sleep for a few months, so just get used to it. And
I get holding the time. I was just about to ask, okay, thank you for the experience. Yes, sure. I'll take it. I didn't know what happened.
Know something, right? Well, yes. So that's exciting. Baby number 2.
Yeah. So
are you going for 3?
Well, I don't listen. If I was carrying that baby for 9 months, and if I was going to put my body through all that stress, then fine. But
But it's not you.
Boy, this second one with Marsha, she had a lot of pain afterwards. So I just don't want to take her down that road again. But
Right.
it's talking in the moment. So
We'll
who
let the Lord
knows?
lead.
Let the
I don't know.
let the Lord have
I don't know
His
if
way.
I don't know if I'll ever get a girl. I think people always tell me, "Oh, you're gonna get a nice." I don't know. I think I'll spoil her rotten or whatever.
I believe it.
I think so.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's good. That's exciting stuff. Yeah. So, to the matter at hand.
Yes.
Recently, in the Jamaican circuits and the Christian circuits, there was a young man, Chozenn,
Right.
who did a song called, what is it called, the same thing? Bawl Out?
yeah,
Oh,
Bawl
yes.
Out. Yeah,
So,
same song. Right?
It is a remake of a secular, air quotes, secular song. Also
Bawl Out.
called Bawl Out. And the
Yeah,
artist, what's
Bawl
your
Out.
name?
Dovey Magnum.
Dovey
Magnum. Yes.
Magnum, right?
So Dovey Magnum's song is a very raunchy, sexually charged song.
Very.
Right. And so
But that's a dancehall version
that's
because
the
she has
song. Yes.
she has a radio version that's
Oh,
it's like
okay.
night and day with her
They
with her
always do that,
yeah
There was
with
a
her
time when my friend came up from Jamaica and I was listening to a Spice song, and
Yeah.
she had never heard the non-radio version, and it was playing on Pandora, and she said, "Oh my God, what is this?" So they always have a cleaned up version for the radio, and then a very, very vulgar version for everyone else.
Okay.
So anyway, so Dovey Magnum's song, this dance hall song. Chozenn took the song and turned it into, in my opinion, a very lovely gospel song.
yeah
But
okay
he was not met very kindly by the public in general.
Right.
People were thinking that he should not have used this song based on how sexually charged the song was. Right?
Right.
And so Uncle Becky, tell us what happened down there.
yeah so that's in a nutshell that's really what's happening here with
Where is
so
he? Did we say where he was?
Who, Uncle Becky?
Yeah, we didn't say.
Oh yeah, we're calling you live from Jamaica.
Jam down, welcome to Jam Rock.
Yes.
So yes, Uncle Becky is in Jamaica, so we're on
Kingston,
international
Jamaica,
call
yeah.
right now. So
Yeah,
we're gonna know what the phone bill gonna look like after this when we get off.
He's not
You have enough credit
calling
on
card.
You have enough credit on the phone for the call.
It's not top up today, so
Yeah,
we're
top
good.
up.
We're
Okay,
good.
So yes, tell us what happened down there.
Right, so a lot has been happening in the past couple of weeks here, especially on the religious circuit, and chosen choice of song is one of those things, So this guy decided that he's gonna do over Dovey Magnum's song, Bawl Out, and he has come under a lot of flack for that. He has gotten some support, but it's mixed. There are those who are ready to crucify him and say, listen, that's sacrilegious. How can you take such a raunchy song, such a sexually explicit song, and turn that into a gospel song, right? And that's exactly what he did. And he said, I've listened to interviews with him, and he said he felt as if he should do it. He felt as if he should redeem the song.
Yeah.
Put a Christian twist to it, right? And see what comes of it, right? As a matter of fact, he said he's not getting any money for this song. He told his producer, I don't want any money from this song. I don't want any. I just want to do this so that God can actually get the glory of his song, Dovey Magnum's song. So that's what he has done. But the religious community here has not given him that kind of support. The major religious station here decided that they're going to ban his song, and they did.
Wow, really?
A week and a half ago, they banned his song, and the reason why they did it is they said they had some forum with some youth, and it was a split decision. There were some who said, "Listen, this song will not bring anybody to the kingdom. Nobody will be saved from this song."
Okay.
And another part of the group said, "Yeah, people will be saved." And the radio station went on to say that in order to protect the spiritually weak among us, they are going to pull that song. So they banned the song, not the artist. So they have other songs for him playing, but they decided we're going to pull the plug on it, and that's exactly what they did. So that's pretty much.
Spiritually weak, huh?
Yeah. They said those who are vulnerable among us, we are going to keep them away from such a song, because what people are actually saying, those who are against it, is, boy, when we hear that song, we hear in Dovey Magnum's song, right? So we hear it every line, every melody, every technicality of the song. We're hearing it.
But who is hearing it, right? That is my thing. Because when I listen to the song, I listen to her song once, and then I listen to his song. And honestly, to me, in my world, his song stuck in my head, right?
Right.
So now, if you're a Christian, which song should be stuck in your head, right?
Well,
so
that's true.
That's one point. But the next point is okay then. So you have somebody that go out to these parties and hear the song all the time. So then they already know the Dovey Magnum song in their head. So yes, maybe when they hear the song, they might be hearing the Dovey Magnum song.
The Dovey Magnum song, right?
But,
right.
I mean, shouldn't it should still have some kind of impact? If they're on their way,
right?
Yeah, they should be hearing the words still, even though, and it should probably even make the song more appealing to them.
It should. It should, I think.
I heard the Chozenn version first. I saw someone post it someone posted it on Facebook, and I saw the video, and I downloaded it. I'm like, I like this song, the Chozenn version. I was like, I like the rhythm. It's kind of nice, I like the words. And then I think a couple days after, I just heard a lot of people just talking about this Chozenn. I didn't even know that was his name, Chozenn, because I didn't even really know the artist too much,
Right.
And I'm like
myself.
Right. And I'm like, what is everybody talking about? What is this? The comment that I saw was Chozenn about to get the Christians them pregnant. I'm like,
that's a good
right? And I'm like, okay, I need to research what is going on. And so I went and listened to the original. And I guess this was a non-radio version. This is a dancehall version. And I'm like, whoa, okay, all right. I see what y'all talking about, but I still like Chozenn's version better. Like, I'm not gonna be sitting down listening to Dovey's version.
Right. My personal experience with it is that when I saw all this buzz on Facebook. Right, so I said, all right, let me listen to Chozenn song. I didn't know the guy, I didn't know the song, so I listened to it, and I did not know Dovey Magnum song.
Right.
So I'm listening this song without any kind of influence. So I listened to it, and I said, yeah, the song is cool. It's not the song of the year, but it's
right. It's all right. It's all right.
It's fine,
Yeah.
And then someone said,
"Big Eye Over is a good piece of song."
Listen Dovey's song, and I listened Dovey's song, and I said, all right, cool.
All right.
Actually, I was watching the YouTube video, and I said, whoa, right, pull it up. And I said, in a context, you can listen something like that, but like Candy, it did not affect me in any way.
Yeah.
It's not as if I was now hearing Dovey's song in my head. As a matter of fact, I was hearing the guy's song, and maybe it's because of what I was exposed to first. But I hear the argument. I hear the argument for those who Use Boy, it brings back memories of that song. Um, I thought, oh, Shine, that when I heard this, I'm like,
Mm.
well, a lot of Christians are listening to that Dovey song.
Right,
Clearly. Clearly.
I said, wow, you guys are very knowledgeable on this song.
Right?
That's exactly what I thought too. For them to form such a strong opinion. You
Yeah,
know.
I'm like, whoa.
And then for them to be like to be so against it, why are you not against her version? Like you're so against Chozen cleaning it up and touching us, and you guys are against that. You should be supporting the man.
I know, right? I know. And the thing is, when you listen to the radio version, as I was saying earlier, that you'd like, whoa, okay. And then she gives you the unedited version. You're like, all right, the raw version, and you're like, how many Christians are actually listening the other version?
I haven't heard the
version.
radio version.
And for me, right, I did not listen all of Dovey's songs.
I
I listened
didn't
the first time. So how many of them sat down really and listened to the entire thing
Okay.
and say to be a good judge of
Mm-hmm.
it's I sat and listened to the guy's song, the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because it was
And him smooth. You saw his video
worth listening.
And him smooth with him moves too. Kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm having him nice little suit out by
So
the rocks.
before you judge the guys,
On the beach,
and
in your suit. Yeah.
it's a cool dude. I don't know if he's taken, but that's all hey guys.
So other people would argue that, okay, so we might have cleaner ears based on what we're used to, and then so we would not be moved by Dovey Magnum's version. So as they said they're protecting the spiritually weak. But I just feel like this isn't the first time that anything like this has occurred. We've had Christians, convert songs all the time. I remember back when I was younger and going to like church camp in Jamaica, they used to take all the Busta Rhymes beats and beat on the tail and do a Christian rap.
Right.
We used to take all the other songs and turn them into our songs.
Yeah, it's been going on for quite a while.
I feel like it's just part of the culture, or any culture really, to change a song. My mother even told me today that my dad and his friends had a band growing like in their younger years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they were called Foresight. It was a gospel band. They played, they had the guitar and so, and she used to sing and whatever. But she said they took a jazz blues song and turned it into a Christian song.
Okay.
So it's like this has been going on. People are always doing that, and even in the reverse, Elephant Man takes some Christian songs and sing Mr. Vegas, although
I think one of the songs I saw for Elephant Man was Born Bad Mind was
right. What's her name? Marvia Providence. What's her name?
Yes.
Hear My Cry. Yeah.
Hear My Cry, oh Lord. He took that.
Vegas took the I Am Blessed.
That's a major Christian.
Yeah. But you know who took the Dread guy? The one that used to be a carnival song, and then he became a Christian.
Oh yeah. Follow the leader, follow the leader. Yeah. What's that? Lewis? What's his name again?
Nigel Lewis.
Yes,
that was originally a carnival song.
Right.
And that was his song actually. That was his song,
Right. Right. Okay.
And he took it and just made it into something Christian.
Yeah.
And I remember at times when he would be at
they
church.
killed that song in church.
But listen, hey, you get a chance, so whoa! I wanted to dance to follow the leader. Here comes it now in a Christian way.
Exactly. So then I'm like, what is the difference here, right? Why can't they just see the bigger picture of what this guy is trying to do? You're supposed to win the loss at any cost.
But I think there's a bigger conversation, and it is the church's fear of in this day and age really of anything sexual. It's that fear is still there.
Yeah.
Because what people are saying is, boy, if I listen to this song, then I scan this, I get pregnant, Chozenn. So there's still that fear that anything that is sexual, we should avoid it at all costs. And so a song like, and I'm like, okay, I can listen to even Dove Magnum song and really listen to it and critique it and that kind of stuff. But a Christian will look at you and say, hey, flee the very appearance of evil.
Yes.
Because there's still that kind of fear, deep innate fear, that once you go sexual with anything, we have to protect people from that. And to me, in this day and age, we should allow ourselves to have certain dialogue. If I would say to a church or even to this radio station that has banned that song, if the issue is that people are spiritually weak and they're going to fall, quote unquote fall, because of something, have the discussion, have the dialogue. So the song, it's not Chozenn song that is a problem. The man song, all right, it's not the song then, it's something deeper. It's your challenge with sexual issues and your challenge with your sex life, lack of it, or the temptation to do this or whatever. Or when you say, Dovey and do our thing with our girls and boy, that get you a kind of way and thing. Talk about that, but do not impose that on the song and say it's because of that song why we're having this.
Right, and I had the thought as we were talking, maybe some of these Christian married couples should be listening to some of these songs to give them some spice and some ideas in there.
You remember I said earlier, the context can actually,
right.
The song.
Right, when they said that was when I thought.
Yeah, man. If I'm counseling a married couple and I say, hey, you need some spice, get your wife to put on some lingerie and stuff. I'm chewing that. Anyways, let's not take the conversation there. But
why are you afraid to take the conversation there? This fear of the sexual conversation, we have to stop it.
That's right. There you go. Thanks for that. But spice. Get some creativity in there, and there you go. I think that there's a deep-seated fear, though.
Yeah, that is. I definitely wasn't even thinking about that going into this. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, even we see it in all of our churches around everywhere. It's the same thing. They shy away from things. You have a couples event, and to have open discussion, and nobody show up.
Yeah.
And but then they want to preach the sex thing to the younger people.
Exactly.
But they don't know anything about it. To be honest. What are you going to tell them? You don't know what is going on in the world right now.
Exactly. Hey, listen. I think, and that is the conversation that both songs have actually triggered that conversation. Talk about it. How many sermons do you hear from the book Songs of Solomon or Songs of Solomon?
Oh, wow.
The most sexualized book in the Bible. Some people try to allegorize it as, it's talking about Jesus and the church and the love between Jesus and God and the church. No, please, madness. It was talking about Solomon and him woman, and him lover. It was talking about a sexual relationship and expression. And we need to have those kind of conversations in a setting that we think is safe. Because if we think the church is safe, then have the conversation there.
Right.
Have an open conversation there about these things. You're not going to ask people to share the details of their sex lives. That's not what you're asking them to do.
Right.
But if this is a place that it's safe, and if the church believes that we have a sexual ethic that we want to push, then we should use opportunities like these to have dialogue with not just our young people, but other people. Because not only young people in church burning, it's other people. So it's.
I'm sorry. What burning? I'm sorry. What do you mean burning?
Did you say Candy had a mood earlier? Oh, please. No,
Burning. What that one mean?
What
We're
that
not even
mean?
going good.
Burning?
All right. Yes. Very true.
All right.
Very good points. I definitely agree. I think even sometimes, like you said, yeah, some of these older couples in church, I don't even know how they're still together.
Boy.
How are they even staying married? What are they doing?
Well, you'd be amazed, at, I think sometimes what happened is that people learn to tolerate each other. But I've seen older couples who are, oh man, their marriage is fiery.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know that, you sense it, you feel it, you see that, and they're not putting on a show.
Right.
You don't even want to visit their homes because you figure they might say, hey, you guys gotta go. We gotta get on, let's get it on. You know that song? Marvin Gaye.
Are they allowed to listen to that song?
They should.
Joking.
But then there are others who have lived for years and they have tolerated each other. The spark is gone. And kids enter the fore, and it's about the children, it's about getting this, getting that, but the intimacy is gone.
Right.
Yeah. And so we have to help people to understand that God loves his people to love the gift of sex that he has given to us. And Dovey Magnum may sing about it in a way that we don't appreciate, but it opens the door for conversation to talk about what is it that we appreciate, what is it, what's the standard that we look for, and for those who may have struggles with it, how do we listen to how are we exposed to a song like Dovey's song, or if we want to listen to a Chozenn song but you still hear the Dovey song in your mind, how do you deal with that?
Right.
Because church love to tell people do not. So don't have this, don't have that, don't fornicate, don't grab it. We love to tell people what not. The function of the church, what Jesus Christ asked the church to do, is to equip people how to live for himself. Equipping means I'm going to show you and help you to understand how you can, rather than just tell you not to. Right. There's a whole difference there. And I think we're fearful of those kind of things. It's shocking that in this day and age that it's still a taboo issue in some churches.
Yeah, that's just true.
And you said something about, I think it was you, Shine, about Beckford, about the couples, just tolerating each other, and the kids have come in the picture and they've lost that spark. And even that, I think that the church should be there through all the stages of marriage. You can't just bring them to the altar and then leave them hanging, and I just thought about that with the point that you made, and I think that's important.
Have ministries that, like, hey, listen, I have a newborn, I have a 7-year-old, and you have a young, nice, lovely, sexy wife. Right. But it would be good if you are part of a church and there is a ministry where, hey, couples, we have young people here, or we have a group that can take care of your kids, and you guys can have your date nights, you can go out, that kind of thing. So you have measures in place to help the couple to enjoy each other, outside of the demands of family, which sometimes is overwhelming, so people tired, they don't have no time for go on vacation and those kind of things. But I just kind of point that you made there. I think practical measures can be put in place to help couples. Yes, you see that smile.
Oh boy.
I didn't expect the conversation to go down this road. Listen, we're just talking about
that's but I like it.
It just came to me. My bad, y'all.
No,
but another thing though about Chozenn song is he has a testimony behind it, and we have to be careful. We're too quick to judge people. People have a narrative, they have a story, and this guy has a narrative. I listened to him the other day, and he's like, listen, the kind of songs I used to listen to were not the very contemporary R&B kind. This guy is a hardcore inner city guy from I think the Spanish Town area, and so he grew up on like Bounty Killer and these kind of. So he's now in Christianity, and he is still radical. That is part of who he is. Right. And and so here's what he's doing. He's saying, listen, I'm not going to abandon my culture, which is what we do a lot in church. We become Christian with us, and we need to abandon culture, abandon who we are as a people, and take on this culture that is so otherworldly that nobody can relate to, and that's what we do sometimes. The guy saying, I can't deny my culture. We went through church in terms of the transition.
Okay, continuing technical difficulties resolved.
Yes.
So
mic check. Are you back?
I'm back.
All right.
So you were saying not to abandon his culture.
So the guy is on a mission to reform his culture, right? Nothing is wrong with that. He's staying in his culture, and he decides that I'm going to use what I have, and which is music and the arts, to make an impact on culture. And I think that's really commendable. Yeah. And it's very biblical, In order for Jesus to rescue the world, he didn't do it from outside of the world. He came into the world, right. And became a part of us in order to rescue us, I guess. So the guy's doing that rather than just be quick to judge. Let's encourage that. Let's encourage. Might not like what he's doing, but let's encourage that.
Yeah, I agree. And there's so many other things we focus on that are just like,
trivial. This is trivial. Like, they do not affect the price of rice, as we say back home. It's really not going to affect the summit between our dear president and our other friend from North Korea. It won't affect nuclear crisis. It won't affect world hunger. It won't affect. Should I go on?
No,
the bottom line is we're gonna have that conversation, and in a couple of days, that's it until something new comes up.
Right,
and it just gives Christians something to talk about. And to be distracted from the ultimate mission, really,
And I hope our young man isn't discouraged by this.
Well, from his interviews, he sounded like him on a mission, and him not gonna let.
He's on a mission.
Yeah, man. Yep. Him sounded like he was ready. I don't mind that attack. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. And he, doing something like that, you have to be prepared for that. Right, you have to have the back. Right. So I think he's ready for that. And, as I said, the conversations that we're having are conversations that, just really, what would Jesus, remember back in the days, what would Jesus do?
It's because we're not wearing the wristbands anymore.
Yeah,
we don't wear those things anymore, right?
We need to put those wristbands out there again.
Hey, you remember those days? Whoa, man. Bumper sticker, double J.
Right, I remember.
Would Jesus eat chewing gum? Would Jesus drink soda? What would Jesus do?
Would he chew gum in church?
What does Jesus would come and mess up the whole church the day, right?
Right,
exactly. They were doing all kinds of things.
Right. So what would Jesus do? Huh? Okay.
Oh man. Well, I think this was a great. We have anything else to say on the topic? I think we've covered even some newer ground than I was expecting.
You mean the whole marriage ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that
we entered into that. That was really good.
But you know what? Since we're on top of music, so I was listening. Have you guys ever heard the song "Reckless Love"?
You were telling me about it. Yeah.
So yes, "Reckless Love" by I think the guy Corey Asbury.
Right.
or the passion group, you guys, if you know about that group. But anyway, so I was listening to this thing today where they were talking about should we sing this song because it uses the word reckless.
So you're really not telling me that right now.
Right, yes. It says,
Yeah.
his write-up, the
Reckless.
dude's write-up says, one of the main lines in the chorus celebrates the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. My question, is this a biblically and theologically correct way to describe God's love? Is the term reckless too reckless?
Oh, is the term reckless to reckless? So the guy is actually saying that God's love is reckless.
Right.
His reckless
Or
love.
the love that you... Wait, whose love is reckless? God's love
Whose
for
love
us
is
or
reckless?
our love
His love.
for God?
His love for
Reckless
God.
love.
His love, yes, his overwhelming love
Okay.
for us. It's
God's
we
love
don't
for us.
deserve it.
Okay, yes.
And he gives us this love.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we do. Yes. That's
Okay. Right.
So they're saying. So what should he? What are they saying he should replace it with then?
I don't know.
They're just saying the song is inappropriate, like Bawl Out.
Yeah, like Bawl Out. That's
Right.
exactly it.
So you're telling me.
Yes, I know it wasn't meant to be used clearly not in a negative way,
Right. Right.
He was just more touching on the unconditional love, that love that God has for us, and I think the guy was just saying that that's not a biblical word, and we shouldn't use
biblical
that.
word.
Yeah.
So
I remember him saying
right.
that.
So are we only using biblical words in our
Words
vocabulary?
in our vocabulary.
They
You
have
know.
to come
He
out of
probably
the
is.
Bible is the new dictionary, is what you're saying. We have to pull from there. to
Which,
see.
that's a huge conversation because the Bible is actually an ancient book, really.
Mhm.
That has to be translated in languages that we can understand.
Right.
We have to speak in a language that we do understand. So and remember, language is something that takes on context. A word has no meaning outside of its context, right? So I think if the guy's using reckless in a particular context, he understands that meaning, then hey, there you go.
So then in that case, we can start putting the word ass in songs because it is definitely in the Bible. Huh?
Really?
Oh well, there you go. That's a good.
Really
she went there. She did.
went there.
So we
She went
can
there.
start using that in the church songs too.
She went there.
By what he's saying, no?
He saved an ass like me. We have we have the song. He saved a wretch like me. It was.
I think I'm gonna write a new song.
Please shine. Relax yourself. Relax.
I need to go. There's two businesses I need to go into: the writing of the song and the dancing industry. You can't take anything, turn and dance these days, and you're famous. I must start writing a song. I need to write a song and make a dance to
write a
match.
song, yeah.
Because
money have to make.
That is how the money is,
Yeah, we got bills to pay out here in these streets.
Yeah,
right? You want some of the money, Beckford?
Oh please, bring it on. I'm looking at the words of your song, the song that you raised. I just pulled it up.
Let me pull it up too.
By what? Corey Ashbury. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. It chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it. I don't deserve it still. You give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Right?
That sounds beautiful.
So I think the issue they're having, actually I spelled reckless wrong. Wow.
I never know how to spell reckless.
How you spell it with a
Is
double
it
R?
a W?
I thought it was a W, but
Is that the Jamaican English way?
I spelled it with a double. That's what I did.
But I think that might be the
The British spelling, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Right,
That's
right,
what
right.
it is. That's what
Okay. But even the lyrics, the whole thing, not even just the chorus. If you start from the beginning, before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so
Yeah.
good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life into me. You've been so good to me. And then there is the verse down below. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. So I like the lyrics.
Well, I think the challenge though for some is maybe what the word reckless actually means, and putting that to God, because when you look at the definition of it, someone who doesn't heed danger or look at the consequences of their action, it's rash, impetus. Those are some of the words used. So I think the challenge they may be facing is that you put in these kind of words to God. How can an all-knowing, seem to be in control God act in such a way? But when you look at God's relationship with us, listen, to love us, in my view, wow, it's a risk on God's part.
Yes.
Maybe I shouldn't use a word like that. But it isn't it?
And we're always messing up.
We're messing up. We have free will. We can reject him. Isn't that dangerous to love someone who can actually reject you?
We reject him every day.
Should we go on? Okay.
His thing.
Yeah, I think it's a fitting description, and sometimes I feel like Christians just get too deep. Just relax. What they don't have nothing to do. What they need to just relax.
And
chill.
funny enough, just when you look at the words, as Candy was saying earlier, they pick that one, the other words of the song, trust me,
right.
really someone and sober words, but they choose, okay, let's take this one word out and just discredit the whole thing. There you go.
Well, but there's some other songs you don't even know what they're talking about. To this day, I don't know where Beulah Land is.
Beulah Land, what's that?
It's an old hymn.
It's an old hymn. Beulah, right.
And I have an auntie named Beulah, and she always...
Yeah, your aunt Beulah? You serious?
I have an aunt, on my dad's side.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about it. What songs do you remember growing up? They listened to church, they just did not know what they were talking about.
I would have to think about that.
But one song that I heard a song Sunday gone. I was in a church, and the guy sang it well, but it was like, "There's not a friend like the lowly Jesus."
Yeah.
But I know when I was in church, we would sing, "There's not a friend like the lonely Jesus."
I used to
and
sing
I'm
lonely too.
why are people saying lonely? Why is Jesus lonely? It's like, and then they messed up the words, like, seriously?
Oh gosh, I don't know what song I've been singing.
I know I sing a bunch of songs wrong. There's so many words. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to think about it right now, what songs, but we just need to relax. I think we're focusing on all the wrong things.
Yeah, you're right.
All of these trivial things that have no, weight on anything, to be honest. But yeah. So, do we have time to talk about the mongrel dog situation in Jamaica?
Yeah, the mongrel dog. Yeah, that's vet.
Yes,
So,
we're going to give you 2 minutes. Tell us something that's going on in Jamaica that you want to vent on.
Yeah.
Right. So I was watching the news earlier, and the headline, people are. Oh, so you're going to time it now?
Yeah,
I have to give me the
time.
Oh.
All right. Good. Tell me when to go.
Go, yes.
All right. So I'm watching the news, and they're talking about people are coming into Jamaica to rescue mongrel dogs, to take them to foreign lands.
So for the listeners that don't understand, tell us what is a
mongrel
dog.
Yeah, a mongrel is really not. It's a crossbreed. It's a mixed breed. So it's like you get
a mutt.
Two pure breed
Yes.
dog. It's a mutt. Yeah, in the US, it's a mutt.
You're not pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
So and if you're in Jamaica, you know how it is in Jamaica. Dogs are these mutts, these mongrels, they're on the street. The mangy, you can't explain that what I mean.
Their skin doesn't look very clean.
No.
Patchy skin.
Yes.
Yes.
Skinny, yes.
Right, they're
Flies
eating
all
out of the
over
garbage dump and everything, flies and all of that. So yeah, folks from North America, the US, Canada are coming in to give these dogs a second chance of life, and so they will be migrating to greener pastures.
Getting them papers.
They get them papers. They're
Ray, big up yourself, mongrel dog.
so they are getting their papers, and I'm like, seriously?
And people out
Okay.
there.
No, I'm a lover of animals, but we have some people in Jamaica who really need some help, and trust me, they are in a state. So, it'd be nice if they could get some opportunities like that too, rather than the mongrels.
You know what just came to mind? I'm not even going to go there in this episode. The people that lack melanin, or a certain amount of melanin, they have a tendency to value all other life over certain cultural lives. And
let's not dig it up. Are we gonna dig it up?
We're not going to go there. I'm holding another podcast. But so I'm not surprised.
But I'm telling you, and I'm watching the newscast, and these dogs look happy. It's like they know what's going on.
Of course, they know what's up. Yeah, man. They're going to America. They're going to
live inside.
Yes, they're going to start wearing clothes now too.
Yeah.
Where are they going to go now? Where are they going to go? Because mongrel love the heat, so.
Oh, you know what the mongrel love.
They're going to get their nails done now. The food, no more garbage food.
Man,
no more garbage food.
They're going to get medical treatment.
They're going to have insurance.
Let me ask you something. If something goes awry and these dogs should do something, will they be deported?
That's a good question.
They send them back.
That's a good one. That's true.
We need to investigate some further because I would like to know what is going to happen.
Will they be deported?
It's so funny. One of my friends.
Deported mongrel.
Yeah. One of my friends, Ashley, years ago when she first went to Jamaica, she went to Ocho and, spent like a couple of days with her friends, and she came back, and the first thing she asked me was, is there only one breed of dogs in Jamaica? Because that's all she saw on the street. And I laughed so hard. I thought that was the funniest.
That is. Oh,
one breed of dogs in Jamaica.
It's true. It's when I moved here, I didn't know all these other dogs.
That's true.
I didn't.
Well, that's true. That's
the
true.
little cute ones, the little furry ones, I didn't even know they could be that small. I thought they were puppies, and then I realized, no, this is the size. They don't get any bigger than this. I'm like, what?
Yes, man.
They look like the mongrel puppies.
On the too
All
bad.
right. The time up. The time is up.
All right.
Okay. What are you listening to, Kendi?
What am I listening to? Okay.
While you have it on the tip of your tongue, or you?
Yes. So
yes.
I'm listening to 2 albums right now. I'm listening to Shawn Mendes. Big up Shawn Mendes. And I'm also listening to this new girl that I see everybody reposting, Georgia Smith. I think is her name. Yeah, Georgia Smith. And
yes, you sent me that playlist,
right.
And it was saddish.
Right.
It's an emo, but she has good vocals.
She does. Yes.
Georgia Smith, right? I'm writing them down and I'm going to look them up.
Georgia.
Georgia's
not Georgia like the state or country, but Jorja.
Jor.
Yes.
J-A.
Yes, I saw everybody reposting her, so I'm guessing she's a new artist or she has new stuff out, and so I'm like, okay, let me check out this girl. But her stuff are sad. Well, not all of them, but some of them are really sad.
But I think we like the sad stuff as girls sometimes.
Yeah.
We like
but the thing is, it's not sad love stuff. It's like sad death stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
okay.
don't know. Yeah, her last two of the songs I listened to just made me, because I honestly started crying when listening to one of them because I thought about.
Oh God.
I know I've been
She's
Pastor
she's
Beckford. I've
British,
been
right?
so emotional the past couple of weeks, days. It's
You
crazy.
see her? Oh yeah.
But one of them I listened to, I just thought about my parents. Oh my gosh, passing away. That was what one of the songs did to me. But
Oh,
anyways, let me not get in my feelings right now. Go ahead, Cheyenne. What you listening to?
I am listening. Well, I wanted to find out from the culture if we're listening to the Kanye album. I need to know. I need to go ahead to know if we're supposed to. If are we listening to the Kanye album or not? I need to know
I have
so that I'm not
touched
going
it.
against the culture.
are you
But secretly, I
serious?
have listened to it.
Okay, I
already.
have not.
But anyway, I'm still kind of stuck on J. Cole's new album.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like that Kelani song that your sister sang.
Aww.
Again, I like that song. Beckford, please take it away. What are
Take
you
it away.
listening
Well, I'm listening to this guy, Leon Bridges. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
to? Leon Bridges.
He has a song,
I'm looking.
Take Me. Right, he's good.
You
Why I
know
like
Leon
him
Bridges'
is
song?
not because I realize, yeah, I'm that kind of person. I just know the first line of the song, and then I make up my own words.
Okay, yes, yes.
But he's good. He has a new album out called Good Thing. But he's old school. He's old school kind of.
He's a young dude though. I'm looking at
Yeah,
his
he's
picture
young
now.
and he has pretty good looking guy. He has a nice nose like myself. So, but he's good. Check him out. He's old. His vibe is old school though.
Mm.
But he has some really nice love ballads, some nice social commentary. But
Compared to singers like Sam Cooke and Otis Redding, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's some big comparisons.
Yeah.
and those are my guys. He's really good.
Okay.
And I'm trying to listen. Justin Timberlake is my guy. Sorry guys.
I couldn't really
He has
get
a
into the new albums.
There's a new album out, but the man would something like
Nah,
that.
yeah, something like that, yeah.
I didn't like that song really. I just don't like the group. But he has a song on that album that I like. Say Something.
Okay.
I was actually listening to it before you guys came on. Say Something. So I like that. I'm digging that.
Say Something by Justin Timberlake.
Justice Timberlake. It's a duo between him and I think what's the guy's name? I can't remember his name. But it's really good though because it's pretty much saying should we be just jumping in and saying everything about all that's happening, it's that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I figure one day I'll get to use this song. But yeah, that's what I'm listening to.
Okay. I think we've said some good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Uncle Becky, thank you so much.
Yes.
We're
This was
so
good.
happy that
It
you were
was.
able to take the time out of your new father's schedule to sit with us. Tell Marsha not to be mad at us.
Right.
That we kept
Thank
you
you,
on,
Marsha.
late.
You'll be like,
Thank
she'll
you,
be like,
Jojo.
she'll be like, guess what? I'll stay up tonight. I'll go sleep. You stay up tonight.
You're on duty.
We apologize. But it's how it goes sometimes, But
Yeah.
really, thank you so much. They're very insightful. I know I always trust Uncle Becky to give me the insight that I cannot see on my own sometimes.
And give it to us like we want to hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very plain and
Right.
very understandable and
Right.
current.
Right.
So thank you.
Yeah, we have to keep it relevant.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
just something.
So thank you, and we
But
miss
thank
you.
you guys. Yeah, miss you.
Yeah.
Don't use that word.
Oh,
Miss is an understatement.
oh God.
And this now just brings back a lot and
Yes.
triggers a lot of emotion and that.
We used to have the best conversation.
You know, when I was
Yeah.
away at college, when I first met Uncle Becky, I used to when I would come home for whatever, a week, for, spring break or whatever, I would spend one day just sitting in Uncle Becky's office.
Aww.
Doing nothing. We're just there.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and we move and do different things, hang out and
Yeah.
talk.
Exactly. It's why an hour can really hold it, you know.
But yes, it was good to have you. And so, you're on your, so he's on Facebook.
Yeah.
As,
Facebook,
Richard Beckford.
Instagram.
You're on
Yeah.
Instagram. What is it? Richard
Instagram, Twitter. Yeah.
You're on
haven't
Twitter
gone
too?
yeah. Every now and again, I put stuff. Twitter is like my hiding social media
Me
account.
too.
Like, you know, that's where I put stuff where I don't want to. I shouldn't put that out there. Then people may want to go look for it.
Oh man, I do the same.
That's what I really want to be a rebel. Yeah.
Snapchat is my hiding place.
That's your hiding.
I can't
We
hide
all
on Snapchat. But yeah, so you know, we'll post your Instagram, not the other stuff. We'll post your Facebook and your Instagram for people to follow you.
Yeah.
And follow us, these two girls on Instagram, right? And these two girls pod on Twitter. And we have a Facebook page.
We do have a Facebook page.
So what is it just called? These two girls
These two
podcast?
girls.
Just these two girls on Facebook.
Yeah.
So
check us out.
like us, follow us, share the episodes with your friends, and that's it.
That's it. Thank
Thank
you
you,
all for
Uncle Becky.
listening. Thank you for
Thank
being
you,
our
guys.
guest,
It was fun.
Cassidy.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you, sir.
Ignore what you're feeling. Your purpose, God revealing. Don't stop. Push on. Me show love cause I got in me. Words of wisdom busting on me. Lead me and lead greatness in me. No lack God provide for me. Lord God, oh you want so good. You shame the devil, me know you're good. Me can't hold it. Jesus, me can't hold it. You name me a ball out. Send up the praise. And me kill me a fi call out. Sweet Holy Spirit, you're so good to me. King Jesus love me. Me no shame me a call out. Send up the praise. Jesus name me